Things are gonna get crazy!
Most everyone's mad here.
I'm back, people! Did you all miss me? Yes, AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast has returned to being live once again, and the chat wall is as lively as ever. How are you all doing, everyone? And I can definitely say for myself that I have been doing much better. Ever since my visit to the ER last week, my throat has significantly improved. I've been following the doctor's orders. I've been resting up. I've been taking care of myself. And of course, I've been taking a lot of my antibiotics. And so far, there have been a lot of improvements. And I'm really happy for it. And also, just to give you all an additional thank you for all the support that you have been showing me this week. But to make things extra special for this episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, to make it a little extra special for the fact that I did come back to being live, I decided to go and bring a friend along. Now, you guys might remember my friends Morgan and James, and often during the weekends, what they would do is that they would go and put on something called the Drive-In Mutants, where they would go and watch movies and just have fun at the same time. I have gotten one of these mutants with me, so please welcome to AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast people, Cody Kluesner. Cody, what is up, dude?
The man's still alive! You owe me a refund, damn it! Hey! Oh shit. Call you later, Moth. Hi, everybody, and welcome to AniMat's live stream. Today's topic, white boys with crazy hairdo. Wow.
I used to, but then I got a haircut, so I'm already past that. How have you been, Cody?
I'm doing good. Work's been work, but I'm happy to say that come next Saturday, there is a Comic-Con going on in my state. Things are starting to get back to normal somewhat, so I'm happy.
All right, but hopefully you'll still stay safe, right? You'll wear masks, you'll practice social distancing and stuff. You'll still be careful, right?
Oh yeah, one of the rules is they're following the guidelines. Everyone has to have a face mask, and I bought gloves also as protection.
Ah, that's good. That's good. You know, it's good to have gloves as well, like that, like to have that extra layer. So with that said, now that we are back to being live, Cody, are you ready for today's episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, perfect. Now, chat wall, are you all ready for today's episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast? Let me hear it, people. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Let's see. Yes. All right. People are ready. They have pretty much been waiting for a little while since the last episode was not live. So with all that said, it is now time that we are prepared to go and get things started. And with our first story that we have here, we're going to be talking about one of the latest movies that have been released in one of the big streaming services, Mulan. Have you seen the Mulan remake?
No, and I don't plan to anytime soon. Our fellow mutants decided to do that beforehand, and not good.
Oh, which one?
The live action remake. They saw it over the.
No, I know. I mean, which mutant?
The rest of them, Gus, James, and Morgan. They all sat down this past week and watched it. I wasn't there, so I thank my lucky stars for that one.
Well then, definitely. Well, I think with our story that we got here, you'll definitely thank your lucky stars more, because now more than ever, this Mulan remake has gotten into even more trouble. More specifically, with where they have filmed. Yes, Disney is in massive controversy once again with the Mulan remake, mainly due to the fact that it was discovered that some of the locations that they have filmed was in the Xinjiang province. Now, you might be wondering, what is wrong with the Xinjiang province, and why is it so controversial? Well, mainly, to summarize it all up, this is the area where apparently they would hold, I kid you not, Muslim concentration camps. It sounds crazy, but here's the thing. I'm going to go and read from some paragraphs in my source here on The Hollywood Reporter, as it states. Following Mulan's release on Disney Plus on Friday, some viewers began to notice a special thanks in the film's end credits to 8 government entities in Xinjiang, including the Public Security Bureau in the city of Turpan, where China is believed to operate over a dozen re-education camps that holds Uyghurs in extrajudicial detention. I think it's pronounced Uyghurs. If not, then I do apologize for the mispronunciation. Mulan's credit sequence also extends a thank you to the publicity department of CPC Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomy Region Committee, the Chinese Communist Party agency responsible for producing and managing state propaganda efforts in the region. Now, if for just in case, if you guys need a little bit more info onto what is happening in Xinjiang, why is it such a controversial area, it says, for years, China has been under international scrutiny for its treatment of Muslim minorities in Xinjiang. It is estimated that over 1 million Uyghur residents have been detained in extrajudicial internment camps. Uyghur residents have reported being subjected to grueling political indoctrination regiments, forced labor, and forced sterilization, part of an alleged government program to suppress birth rates in Muslim population. And apparently they also mentioned that technically Xinjiang isn't the only place that they have filmed for the movie of Mulan, but it was a massive area that they did actually film. And of course, as you can imagine, the people who are calling to boycott Mulan, well, right now they are even more furious, as it even continues on by saying that some of those activists have since taken notice of the growing Xinjiang controversy. Prominent Hong Kong pro-democracy advocate Joshua Wong tweeted, it just keeps getting worse. Now when you watch Mulan, not only are you turning a blind eye to police brutality and racial injustice due to what the lead actor stands for, you're also potentially complicit in the mass incarnation of Muslim Uyghurs. #boycott Mulan. So yeah, now it's even more of a mess, Cody. Do you have any thoughts on this so far?
This movie has been riddled with controversy for the longest time. It's probably the biggest controversial Disney movie since Song of the South. I mean, I'm guessing they probably filmed there for one, tax dodge. That's probably one of the reasons they filmed there. And secondly, was there something in their contracts with filming these locations, filming with these actors, that they thought there was probably no backlash that could come from this? I mean, again, when the lead actress spoke about where she stands with police brutality, I mean, was the mouse going in his office going, well, this is a write-off, this is trouble, but we can overcome it, we have the power. No, you don't. No, you don't.
It's just a little slip-up, it's still good,
But what amazes me is that if Corona didn't happen, this would be the second year in a row where Disney released one of their live-action remakes around my birthday, and it sucked.
Oh, yeah, because, the year before was Dumbo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah. That one sucked. That was one of the worst, actually. That was awful.
Do you think... Now, here's my question. Do you think a wisecracking Eddie Murphy dragon could have saved this movie?
Oh, no. Nutty. It would help. It would help, actually, but no, barely even much. But I would say, honestly, in response to what you have mentioned about, why and stuff like that, you gotta keep in mind, the main thing that Disney wants to do with Mulan is that they want to make a movie primarily for China, and I think it really shows the big morality problem when trying to do so. It's because we are starting to see more and more big companies do this, and unfortunately when they want to try to do something to please China, then that unfortunately means that they would have to go and tolerate many of their cruel and even immoral actions. And it's not just Disney, by the way. We have recently seen many of these actions occur with the NBA and even Blizzard as well. So with Disney, because of the fact that like they are doing, because the big thing with Mulan, the big point of it is to make a Chinese movie, and that's their big goal with Mulan, because unfortunately China is becoming more and more and more of a powerhouse when it comes to to the finances in cinema. Like now, like you would be surprised that many big budget features would go and be primarily be funded by the profits made in China. Like I could think about movies like the Fast and Furious franchise, or even the Transformers movies. Like a lot of the money that they would make, like even when they would surpass over $1 billion, a lot of it comes from China. So Disney is just trying to capitalize on that to make a movie primarily for China. And unfortunately, this does call for like looking past for many of the controversies. Like if it weren't like, if they were not doing this mainly for China, I would guarantee you they probably would have done a whole cast switch with Liu Yifei, but they didn't because they want to do it for China.
Yeah, but that also brings up something. Who they had originally planned to play Mulan. Crap, I cannot remember the name for the life of me.
There was someone else?
Yeah, originally, have you seen Memoirs of a Geisha?
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
That's a good movie, but the lead actress, they had her in mind to play Mulan first. I'm sitting there going, you should have gone with her. She is a great actress. I could actually see her playing this part and doing well, and probably not causing a lot of social media backlash as well. And they also had a different director at the time, but I can't remember who that was either. Yeah. I'm a fountain of information today, can you tell?
Yeah, but no, it is true. I do recall that when it comes to the Mulan remake, it's been going on for a while. Mm-hmm. Like, they've wanted to make it for a long time, but it wasn't until, like, they finally got, like, Liu Yifei and director Niki Caro that they finally set in stone and decided to really go and do it. And apparently, according to my chat wall, there was apparently they considered at one point to probably have Ang Lee to be the director, which would have honestly been interesting.
Oh yeah, that and and Chuck Russell to direct as well was actually an idea at the time. Which he's done some interesting stuff, but you can see something like the Scorpion King, an action movie. But other stuff like I Am Wrath and Jungle. It's just, this is also a guy that worked on Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and The Mask. He directed both those movies. I'm sort of going, if they were going for more of a cartoony feel, like in the first Disney animated movie, maybe that could have worked, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have seen it, by the way, and I am going to be releasing my review of it next week, so I'm just going to save my opinions on it for now, but but like one thing I do want to, but like there is one thing that I am curious to know is regarding if Disney knew about like the controversies of Xinjiang, like if they knew that this area, or Xinjiang, sorry, and if they already knew about like some of the controversial practices that are happening in that province, and like it, like by giving them special thanks, did they know that this was already happening? That's what I would like to know. If it's either Disney is just playing dumb and they never knew what was happening in there, or like they knew what was going on, but they have to go and like stay silent about it because they want to do it for China and please Xi Jinping.
I'm probably gonna go with the latter on this one. Plus, probably a tax dodge as well, save money. But I'm probably gonna say they probably did film this year with the intention of trying to like make it look not just make the movie look good, but also make the area look good. Trying to say, yes, there is some controversy here, but we filmed the whole movie here and nothing went wrong. You know, we came out alive. Maybe just go to show it's not exactly as bad of a place as people think it is.
Well, no, not really. It's not really. Well, I mean, with the Mulan remake, it's not meant to promote the area, technically. It's not, like, I mean, plus the fact that they're showing, like, a China that's in the past, and you could tell that there's been a lot of, like, a lot of computer enhancements in order to make it look more beautiful than it is. Because one thing that I can say right now that actually is a good thing about the Mulan remake is the colors. like this is a movie where they really make the colors really do pop out, and it can be a pretty gorgeous looking feature. So of course there will be some enhancements that they will do digitally to make China look better than it is. But and then again, I can understand that technically there would be some areas that you want to try to make. You want to try to make it a little bit more natural in a sense, because there's a lot of views of like a lot of hills, a lot of mountaintops. Like it's not easy to find, and maybe it's like this is the only place, but it is pretty damning with the way that Disney would go and like they would film it in that area, and yet like what's even more crazy, like thinking about it, like I think you might be right where like maybe it is the latter of what I said, that Disney knows about these things but they're being silent about it, mainly because of the fact that they never address the issue. I don't think Disney has ever put out a word regarding any of the controversies that Mulan has faced, rather it be for this or even for like the whole Hong Kong protest after what Liu Yifei has said. So the thing is that they're just keeping quiet on the matter.
Yeah, that's a smart thing you can do whenever it comes to controversy. Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It's like the safest, like being quiet is often just like the safest route. But then again, being silent can also be complicit. Like it's a matter of like actions speak louder than words, and like and especially nowadays on the age of the internet, if you're not going to say anything, then people on the internet will say something for you, rather it be for better or for worse.
But there's also one thing else to consider. It's Disney. How many other movies and projects do they have working on? I don't think this is going to cause a big blemish that they're going to want to react to it immediately.
Yeah, well, I mean, then again, yes and no, because you got to keep in mind this is Mulan though. This is this is like their big $200 million movie. This was supposed to be like a big blockbuster that they would put out in theaters, but then like because of recent circumstances, they have to put it out on Disney Plus. So like yes, I mean technically they got all the money in the world, but then again, like this is something that this is a massive investment, and there is still that chance that they could be losing money out of it because they're taking that massive risk of putting it on Disney Plus and even putting like that big $30 paywall.
Another reason I'm waiting till I think it's going to drop on Disney Plus for regular subscriptions in December.
Yes, yeah, after 3 months. You know the funny thing is that they're gonna they're keeping it up for $30 for 2 months. Like in the beginning of November, they're gonna drop it, and then in December they're gonna bring it back up. So they only have like 2 months to try to recoup their cost.
You think they'll be able to break even with that?
I'm just gonna say it's not impossible. Highly unlikely, but not impossible. I mean, like we'll have to wait and see when the numbers do come out. Like what do the statistics say? And like it's not impossible to imagine that the Mulan remake does become a hit, but with all the controversies and stuff like that, it's just like right now, it's not. It's just like it's hard to imagine that being successful. That people would just look past the controversies to go and check out Mulan. And one thing that I do want to bring up also is something that you've mentioned earlier. Do you actually believe this is as or even more controversial than Song of the South? Do you think like it'll have that same legacy?
Maybe not for American audiences as much as it is for the people of China, considering Song of the South had to deal with America and one of its more controversial times, and probably Disney's biggest, I want to say customer base is America based, because you got all the theme parks, all the movies and whatnot. So maybe not as big of a mark as it is for us, but I don't think this is going to be something that China is going to be forgetting anytime soon.
Okay, I do get what you mean, but then again, I can also debate, like, to add even further, maybe it's not just China specifically. I think it's more going to be for pro-democracy China. Because, like, you're still going to get that, you're still gonna get like the Chinese people that are like pro Beijing and they're pro Xi Jinping, that like they will totally be for this movie because like they'll be totally supporting Mulan, and like they'll continue the hashtag support Mulan trend. But for the pro-democracy people, yeah, like it's going to be a massive slap to the face. It will be massively controversial for them. So, and in that point of view, unfortunately, that also means it's really not going to be as controversial as Song of the South, because you're only talking about people in specific regions, just like people in Hong Kong or in Taiwan or stuff like that. Just little areas that are in the Chinese area, but they do have their own autonomy, that they do have their own democracy. So from there, it will be controversial to them, and like it will be controversial for sure for like hundreds of thousands of people or even for millions of people, but it won't have that same magnitude as Song of the South, where, like you said, it's a movie primarily in America, and the controversies are more related to American issues, where Mulan has more like it's a movie made for China, but the controversies are more related to Chinese issues.
Mm-hmm. There's also the timing where both movies came out. Song of the South came out way back then, before the age of the internet. So
Yeah, almost. Like I would even say, like almost like I was about to say, like almost like before the age of electricity, but yeah, there could be that, but yeah, like Song of the South was back in like 1946, and then like accumulated that. Like with Mulan, it's still like fresh out of the oven. You never know if in 10 years time, it would still be as controversial as it would be right now.
yeah, this also makes me think. Oh, do you think that China edited this movie at all? No, cut anything out of it whatsoever? Because that sometimes happens. Movies that are released in different regions do tend to cut or censor some stuff.
Oh, I think so. I definitely think so. Like, especially if this is a movie primarily for Chinese audiences, I think they would definitely have their hands on it, where they would have control. And unfortunately, many people might not realize this, but China would have more control on movies than you think, especially nowadays when there are a lot of films that do feature Chinese productions working on it. They will have an influence on what to say and what to edit, regardless if it would only be if it is a version exclusively for China, or if it would be for all around the world. Like, they will play a major factor to it.
Whew.
But
not...
yeah, overall though, this is just yeah, like I don't know. I would debate, like, if I would have one more question to this. Do you think this additional controversy of the Xinjiang filming, do you think like this is as bad or even more controversial than the whole Liu Yifei controversy with the Hong Kong protesters?
I would say they're about even, because one is dealing with a current problem, while one is dealing with a place that has historical problems with it, stuff that cannot let me think, things that
two different problems that are like related to the same thing. Like they're kind of like, it's hard to really compare.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I gotcha.
But can I just say,
yeah,
when I first saw the teaser trailer for this movie, I was kind of excited for it, because I was like, ooh, Disney do a kung fu movie. This could be fun. But no.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna lie. The trailers were great. That's the thing. Like, they really did, like, they knew how to hype up this feature, but
oh yeah,
after going through all this, it's just like, it's not worth it.
No. So question to you.
Yeah?
Should they keep going with these live action remakes? And if so, what should their next attempt be?
I mean, well, they're going to do it regardless. They're going to keep on going. They already got The Little Mermaid and Cruella de Vil movie that's currently going on. honestly, it'll just depend on the finances. It'll depend on how much money this is going to make. And I think Mulan will definitely play a big factor if it's going to be worth it or not. Like, I'm sure, like, Disney will still continue anyways and consider this a massive exception because of the whole Disney Plus scenario. But I think it's still going to keep on going anyways because, like, money takes more priority than anything.
Oh, I await the time when they try to do live action of Hunchback of Notre Dame. I await that challenge because that's my favorite Disney animated movie. I'm just gonna be like, go ahead, your move.
Oh, they're considering. They're considering. I've heard rumors. I keep hearing rumors, and there is a possibility they might consider have like Josh Gad be the star.
Well, if they do it. And we all know the difference they did between the animated movie and the book, but push for a PG-13 movie. That's what I'm hoping to see Disney do, a PG-13 movie of Hunchback of Notre Dame, because what they did with Pirates of the Caribbean, what they were able to show and get away with it when they started working with PG-13, I'm thinking this could work for Hunchback.
You might not be wrong there. I could see the possibilities of that. All right, but with that said, I would like to go into the chat wall right now, and I want to ask you all, what do you think about the new controversy of Mulan, of the Mulan remake? Does it make you even more upset about the remake? Does it make you not want to watch it more? What are your personal thoughts about this?
Ooh,
all right, let's see what we got here. Let's see now. Oh, I'll go with this one, actually. With everything that's been happening in this movie, it's just a non-stop stream of oofs. I know it's a sad reality that almost every country is bending over backwards for China, despite the fact that they're a dictatorship, and it sucks because I know so many Asian Americans who were looking forward to this after growing up with the original, and the movie has so much baggage. Liberate Hong Kong, free Tibet. Oh, wait a minute. I just lost it. Oh, fudge. I'll get back to it eventually. Oh, no. Here. Oh, I found it. Okay. Liberate Hong Kong, free Tibet, free the Uyghur people, and may democracy rise in China and every authoritarian state. Okay. Oh, God, that's definitely good there. Let's see. Wow. A remake that removes things from the original film. Two controversial actors, Liu Yifei and Donnie Yen, getting tons of delays, being put on Disney Plus for $30, and now the film was shot in concentration camps in Xinjiang. This might be the most controversial movie of 2020, and now I'm wondering if they actually use the prisoners in the movie, and this might be Disney's biggest flop ever since Mars Needs Moms, and this could be Disney's biggest disaster ever. Also, hi, Cody. Oh, boy.
Hello. Wow. Oh, boy. That's a scary thought to think of.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's an extreme accusation, but honestly, it's not impossible. I mean, especially considering that they did give special thanks to the people organizing that. It's like you never know. Like maybe like that could be a way that Disney could save costs is using those people. Unfortunately,
if every evidence of that comes to life. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, like, right now it's only allegations and it might not be true, but if that's the case, that's, oh boy, Disney will need to do a lot of explaining there. Alright, let's see now. Mulan seems to just be a magnet towards controversy, with the whole new controversy about filming locations and its connections to re-education camps to indoctrinate Muslims. I'm not surprised that this movie got such a slow start at the box office so far. That South Park episode about China is just looking better and better with every day and every controversy. You know that South Park episode they're talking about, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh yeah, no, it's actually really good. It's worth checking out. Let's see. If someone from the future told me that this movie would flop, I would believe them with the divided reaction, ridiculous prices, Disney announcing that they are going to put it for free on Disney Plus just 3 months after its release, no songs or Mushu, Liu Yifei, and now freaking this. Not gonna watch it whatsoever. I'm just gonna see Tenet again, even if I didn't know what the fridge is going on within that. I haven't seen Tenet, well, for obvious reasons, but
No, I.
yeah, I don't know. I'll just wait for it. I haven't even heard like the reviews. I guess I'll check it out later.
If you want, if you want to see an interesting thing that Disney's made that has a female lead, watch The Owl House.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, the Owl, or like whatever's on whatever's on Disney Channel. Their animated shows have been really going along very well. Not just the Owl House. I'd even add in Amphibia as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about those so far. Let's see now. Well, that's another controversy this film has gotten into. Honestly, this is just more proof they should have never put this on Disney Plus in the first place. I still stand by my statement that New Mutants should have gone to Disney Plus instead for $30 because of how much of a disaster Disney knew it was going to be. Yeah, funny enough, like, say what you will about New Mutants, because a lot of people would even go as far and say that it's the worst X-Men movie, but now with the controversies with Mulan, it's like, it's looking a lot better now. I mean, the crime of just being a bad movie doesn't seem so bad now, does it?
I don't know about New Mutants. I'll have to watch and compare it to Dark Phoenix first. Because for me, Dark Phoenix is the worst X-Men movie so far.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Like with that whole trilogy, I don't blame you. All right, I'll read one more. I'll read one more before we jump into the next story. Okay, I was going to watch the Mulan remake out of pure curiosity, but after seeing all this, on top of the Liu Yifei controversy, I don't think this is even worth pirating. I don't even have much else to say, just boycott the damn film. Also, Matt, on an unrelated note, you got some infected tonsils yesterday, and just yesterday I got diagnosed with tonsillitis. You did this to me! I don't know where you're from, dude. I didn't infect you or anything. I stayed far away. I wasn't even live. So I can't. That's on you, dude. I ain't taking responsibility on that.
See, now this is where you should wear face masks.
Well, I do when I go outside, but I'm in my own home. No, but for real, dude, I hope that you are doing well. I'm sorry to hear about your tonsillitis, and hopefully you will get well soon, and go see a doctor. Like the sooner you get your antibiotics, the better.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so with that said, it is now time we shall go and jump to the next story that we have. And Cody, I got one little question I have for you. I don't know how you will go and tolerate this. Do you want to build a snowman?
Ugh. Can I just give me a sec? Let me state my thoughts. I saw Frozen. I thought it was a good movie, good music. But the one thing that makes me despise this movie is the fact that how Disney is whoring this product out to everything. I mean, give it a rest. We get it. It's a good film. You have a sequel. Move on. Stop pushing it in other shows. I mean, have you watched the show Once Upon a Time?
Dude, I only asked you if you want to build a snowman. What the fridge are you talking about?
Sorry, this movie that franchise just sets me off every time.
No, I understand, dude. I understand. But yeah, no, I haven't seen Once Upon a Time, by the way.
It's an interesting combination of the fairy tale world mixed with the real world, and they do take a lot of aspects from the Disney movie library and fusing it into very well effect. Until they decide to spend their fourth season about Frozen and doing what the first movie never did, giving us a backstory on Anna and her powers. I mean, all through the first movie was like, whatever, the blonde one. I mean, all through the first movie was like, where'd these come from? Where'd she come from? I mean, this is supposed to be like a superhero movie. Give us an origin story.
Alright, but don't worry, we will have another origin story here, and this time it's going to be with Olaf. Yes, Disney has officially announced a brand new animated short that's going to be coming out on Disney Plus called Once Upon a Snowman that will feature the origins of Olaf the Snowman. It states here on my source on Deadline that Once Upon a Snowman explores what happened to Olaf within the moments after Elsa created him as she was letting it go and building her ice palace, and when Anna and Kristoff first meet him in the forest. And how did Olaf learn to love summer? The film follows Olaf's first steps as he comes to life and searches for his identity in the snowy mountains outside Arendelle. Of course, Josh Gad is going to be coming back to provide the voice of Olaf, and they even got two animation veterans at Disney, Trent Corey, who was the animation supervisor of Olaf in Frozen 2, as well as story artist Dan Abraham, who has mainly provided the story art for When I Am Older, the musical number for Olaf in Frozen 2, to be the directors of this segment. So, yeah, now it's gonna be an Olaf. It's gonna be an Olaf short. Do you want an Olaf short?
No, thank you, but they had to squeeze it into Disney Plus somehow. They had to get some new Frozen stuff in for the new property. Not surprised.
Yeah, and like, you already put in your piece about, like, your thoughts on, like, the current Frozen trend and stuff like that. And if I may go and take a moment to put in my turn now, like,
Please.
Now it's my say. Now, as you guys probably know, I really like the Frozen films. I love the first Frozen, and I thought the second film was very, very good. Not necessarily as good as the first, but still a very well-crafted and beautiful movie nonetheless. You know, I have enjoyed a lot of the Frozen stuff from time to time, but when I heard the announcement of Once Upon a Time or Once Upon a Snowman, honestly, even for me, I was like,
Why?
Like, I wasn't really that enthusiastic. And honestly, I did think a little bit about it, because for me, it's not necessarily because of the whole, like, Frozen oversaturation. Because I'll be honest, there are some ideas that you still can do with Frozen and still make it sound good. Like, a good example, if they announce, like, a new animated short or a series of animated short about the Enchanted Forest in Frozen 2, that would actually be really awesome, because they would look into because they would look into, like, they would look into the origins of the powers in that forest and the world building that's in there. That would have been really nice. Mm-hmm. But my problem with this is that it's another Olaf short. We're getting more Olaf. And that's what I think is more of a problem here, is that Disney has been using Olaf way too much, more so than Frozen itself. I think they probably use Olaf more than even the songs, more than Let It Go or Do You Want to Build a Snowman and stuff like that. I feel like we've been getting way too much Olaf nowadays, especially when during the pandemic, they have already been making these little, like, 30-second shorts with Olaf that did have, like, Josh Gad's voice and stuff like that. So I don't know why we need more Olaf. And also, on top of that, do we really need to know the origins of Olaf? I thought we already know about that already.
Yeah. We kind of got the idea from the first movie. We kind of know. I mean, what was this? Frosty the Snowman? He wakes up, happy birthday!
Yeah, but like, but we saw, like, how she, I'm sure, like, we've already seen it, like, multiple times, the first movie, and we already know that in the song Let It Go, there was a moment where Elsa actually does create Olaf, and we saw, like, oh, that's where Olaf came from. That's kind of, like, his origin and how he came to life. Like, we can already put the two together. I don't know why we would go and need to have more Olaf himself. And, like, if you want to do more, like, origin-based stuff, or, like, another good idea that I just thought of right now, why not have more cute little adventures of little Anna and Elsa? Like, before Anna's memory got wiped, and we could see more little adventures that Anna and Elsa have with the powers.
Exactly. See, this is what I like talking with my friends about. We're creating better ideas than the people that get paid millions of dollars a year to do.
Honestly, that's the thing is that like I understand people can complain about the oversaturation of Frozen, but really there are still some great ideas that you can pull off. It's just it's just they're overusing Olaf. That's the main problem. That's why I feel like I'm not only am I starting to get a bit tired of Olaf, I'm also starting to get a bit tired of Josh Gad. Like, even he's starting to feel a bit oversaturated as an actor, and people using him a little bit too much.
Yeah. That's... It'll be... Maybe... You know if there are any plans for a third Frozen movie?
No, not yet. Not now. And I don't think so, honestly. Like, now with... personally, I feel like the main reason why there have been a lot more sequels coming from Disney Animation and from Pixar, I think it was mainly due to John Lasseter. But now with him out of the picture, I think like now Disney is going, like both Disney and Pixar are going to stick more to making original content. So I don't think we're gonna see a sequel from them for a while at least. I could be wrong, but we'll see.
Hopefully this will probably be the last thing of Frozen that we see for a while.
Maybe. But you know, it also makes me wonder, like, Disney does know that they do have more characters than Olaf. Why do they have to keep on repeating Olaf? Why don't we have like why don't we have like an animated short on like other Disney characters? Like why not like a Vanellope short? You know, like why not like an
yes.
Like why not an update on Vanellope with how she's doing in that Death Race game? You know,
exactly.
like why not something like that? Like why do we have to focus so much on Olaf? And especially not to mention that Olaf doesn't need this short. We don't need this Olaf origin story because we already have an Olaf short technically, or rather an Olaf Christmas special. Like you remember Olaf's Frozen Adventure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we've already gotten that. So why do we need another animated? Why do we need more Olaf-centric content?
Because the toys sell like hotcakes.
Well, okay, yeah, that is true. It's because, of course, it has to be money.
Money. You gotta have money.
Yeah, but anyways, like honestly, with the whole Olaf problem, like it's starting to become a little bit more of an issue, even to the point like it's starting like it might sound controversial. It's starting to even make Illumination look good because at least Illumination does acknowledge that they do have more characters than just the minions.
Yeah, this is true, but they won't stop making movies about them.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like they'll still keep making Minion movies, but then again, they do know there are other characters they can play around with than just the Minions. They still got pets, they still got Sing, and they're still gonna do Mario.
Oh, and now I want to see a wrestling match between Olaf and a Minion. Who will come out on top? Who will be the best toy seller of 2020?
That would be an interesting crossover. But yeah, overall for me, even as a Frozen fan myself, I'm not really that excited for this Olaf short because I don't really find this to be necessary, and I've already got so much of my Olaf fill as it is. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I don't know if I'm even gonna really bother. I think this will just be a bit of a pass for me.
Mm.
Would you consider checking it out?
Only if the Abominable Snowman from Monsters Inc. had a cameo.
That would be a good twist, actually. I would be down for that. I actually, no, you know what? Maybe if they could do that, then maybe I'll reconsider my thing with Olaf. But in case you guys are curious to check this one out, apparently it's going to be coming out on Disney Plus on October 23rd. So in case you are interested, just mark your calendars for that.
October?
Right. Yeah, on October, apparently.
You figured they might aim for Christmas, not Halloween.
Just to build up, just in case.
Mm.
Just to have like just to have it be out on October. Then Disney will put out their Christmas stuff, and then whoop! Oh, look at the recommendations. Apparently, the new Olaf short.
Wow.
Just to be a little bit ahead of the game.
Mm.
Alright, so with that said, I'd like to go into the chat wall, and I want to ask you all, what do you all think about Once Upon a Snowman? Is it something you guys would be interested in? Would you like to know about Olaf's origins, or would you give it a pass and you're not interested and you think it's a bit oversaturated with all the Olaf stuff? Let me know what you all think.
Mm. Ugh.
Let's see now. Honestly, I don't care about the pointless hate on the Frozen saga, but yes, I'm wanted, please. In case you forgot, I adore Frozen so much. I met Chris Buck. I saw the cast performing in person last year at D23. I love going to the Anna and Elsa meet and greet every single visit at Disneyland. And Elsa, God, I love her. As for the Olaf short, sure, I do wish they make more stuff outside of Anna, Elsa, and Olaf, but damn it, I want this short. I'm also currently friends with one of the animators of Frozen. Okay, so at least there is there is someone who is hyped up, so there is still an audience. Let's see now. It's just like the rabbits, Minions, and even the animatronics from FNAF. We love it at first, but when people gave us so much more of them, we get tired of them. I wish that we got a short with Kristoff and Sven instead. To quote from A Clockwork Orange, "Stop it! Stop it, please! I beg you!" Oh God, I could just imagine like the Disney people being excited. It's like, "I'm sorry, what do you need to stop? I've seen too much of Olaf." No, that's perfectly fine. Here, let's put up In Summer again. All right, here you go. Oh boy. I didn't expect that quote. I didn't expect A Clockwork Orange to suddenly sneak into this. Let's see now. All I could say is Olaf and Frozen needs to take a break. After the whole Coco incident with their short being way too long, Frozen and Olaf definitely has been used too much, and I'd like to see different snowman characters in the limelight again, like Fozzie Snowman from Muppets Family Christmas and Frosty the Snowman from Rankin Bass. Also, I agree with the Vanellope short instead of Olaf. Why does Olaf need a Lamp Life inspired short? Yeah, that is true. It's like, do we like? The thing is, Lamplight works a lot. Like, you know Lamplight, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Lamplight, that one works a lot better because that actually does answer a question a lot of people would want to know. Like, even though we do have a little bit of an answer in Toy Story 4 about what happened to Bo Peep and why she was separated from the whole toy gang, but at least in that one, it does fill up so much of a gap between what happened, what happened between Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 4. Like, that did actually answer a massive question that had been lingering on for like for about a decade, I would say. Yeah, for 10 years. Like, that one, I could understand the point of it. With Olaf, on the other hand, like, that's just a small period. Like, we're talking about literally a small period of, like, what's between a few minutes. Because it's not actually, like, if you think about it, it's not actually that long between Elsa singing Let It Go and Anna and Kristoff meeting Olaf. It's just a matter of a few minutes. Like, that is just a little too easy to just connect the two together. Like, really, the big question that they're trying to answer that people don't really know is just, how does Olaf know about Summer? And literally, that's it.
No, just thinking, Olaf coming across the little college and peeks in the window and sees a family reading about Summer, wondering why it's still cold 24/7. Summer! Hello, I'm your friend.
Well, I mean, technically, like, people forget this, but Frozen is still technically a movie that is set in summer. So there is that. This sounds pointless, but interesting to say the least. I really liked Olaf in the first movie, and he was a bit tolerable in the sequel, and this concept did work decently with Lamp Life, so I'm curious to see how this goes, unless it makes a guy in Florida horny. But my biggest problem here is that the runtime will probably be too short. This should be like 7 hours. This should be like 7 hours long, and have a theatrical run in front of Seoul. Oh God, just like a whole day of that entire moment.
No, the majority of it is just going to be seeing how he was formed in slow motion, one snowflake at a time.
Oh God. Oh God, just like a massively slow-mo version of Let It Go during as like each little snowflake is put on.
Oh boy.
Let's see what else we got here. Really more Frozen. I'm sick of that movie. Entangled, both are really terrible, which Disney should buy their own rights to the book. Jack, the fairly true tale of Jack and the Beanstalk. No, that would make a great PG Disney movie, and that they could go and direct. Oh, go get the director of Hercules to do it, and would be awesome. The action and the comedy drama. Okay, well, I mean, technically, it's just like the idea of Disney doing a Jack and the Beanstalk movie. It's like, well, they were, but that's the thing. It's like they were considering to do a whole. It's actually. I remember they wanted to do a Jack and the Beanstalk movie, and it was supposed to have the songwriters of Frozen actually be involved in this as well, but it just got canceled. That's the problem. Yeah, it sucks, and it was pretty hyped up, but unfortunately, none of it ever happened.
I like this one. Let me see this. Disney is treating Olaf as much as Timon and Pumbaa. Olaf has so much with a Christmas special, a series of shorts called At Home with Olaf, etc. Timon and Pumbaa has a TV series and a movie and more.
That is true. I mean, technically, they do bring up a good point. It's not the most oversaturated character, because you could debate, like, Timon and Pumbaa, like, had so much more. I mean, like, if they had their own movie, then, like, you can't really complain there. That is a very good point. All right, I'll read one more comment before we jump into the next story. Well, to me, I can't wait. Seriously, I love Olaf. It's always fun to see his antics going around through the franchise, although I can understand the overexposure, and maybe they should at least take a break from Frozen eventually. But hey, if possible, we could get more Disney character shorts. I'm still wondering if they are going to do a Zootopia short. Maybe.
Again, another franchise, another movie that did good that they should be expanding on.
Yeah, really. Like, that would be another good idea. I would be down for a Frozen a Zootopia short. I love that movie. Okay, so now with the Disney news out of the way, now we're going to go and check out a little trailer. And this time we're going to go into something a little bit different. And by the way, Cody, just out of curiosity, do you have Apple TV Plus?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, it is a bit unfortunate because apparently they do have an upcoming animated feature coming out, and so far it looks very fascinating. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out the teaser trailer for Apple TV's upcoming animated feature, Wolfwalkers.
All right.
No children beyond the walls. The forest is brimming with real wolves.
Wait! You can come out now. You're a Wolfwalker. I met a girl in the forest who has magic powers. When she sleeps, she turns into a wolf. She's a Wolfwalker. Something's happened to me. Be a wolf!
And that was Wolfwalkers, which is going to be coming soon on Apple TV+. Cody, I would like to know your thoughts on the trailer.
I'm highly interested. I liked what I see. I really did, especially animation. animation does sort of way remind me of Disney, like the animation they used in 101 Dalmatians with the backgrounds and everything, how the one shot we saw of the cityscape looked. That's what it reminded me of, but I'm still glad that there are people who are willing to invest money in 2D animation, especially like this. I will always prefer 2D over CGI. That's just how I am. But I like what I saw. This does sound like a good fairy tale like story that did capture my interest, and I think many people will as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, the biggest reason for that, it's basically it's the studio that's just doing what they know how to do best. For those of you who don't know, Wolfwalkers is actually the next animated feature that's going to be made by Cartoon Saloon, in which they have provided they've already done some animated features that have been nominated for an Oscar. Actually, they were the people behind The Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, and The Breadwinner. And with this one, it does feel like this is going to be another of their feature that they're pretty much going back to their roots a little bit more. Like, this reminds me a lot of The Secret of Kells, where it does feel like they're telling us, like, maybe this is an original story or something. I don't know. I haven't fully done enough research on that yet. I should have. I apologize. But this does feel like they're telling us this ancient Celtic story in a way, where it does have that massive storytelling feeling to it that would incorporate like a lot of magic. You know, it has its own lore and stuff like that, and especially with the animation, highly stylized and highly beautiful. And it is true, actually. That's one thing that does stand out from the other Cartoon Saloon films, is that it is true that it does have that that style that's a little bit similar to something like 101 Dalmatians, where it's a lot, it's a lot more it's a lot more sketchy in a way. Like it feels like something that is out of a scrapbook more so than something that feels clean per se. Like, and when I say clean, I mean something that like they would go through a rough drawing and then clean it. But in this one, it feels like the cleaning process is less priority, and it kind of gives it a little bit of its own style, that it's like, the drawings that you see here, they feel like they're freshly drawn, and it does feel like it's something that is just freshly popped out of a storybook in a sense.
And the look also lends to the story they're going. A wild child in the woods raised by wolves is not going to be the cleanest place in the world. So you're going to want something that animation that looks like that's something that came from outside nature as well.
Yeah, it's true. That's a nice contrast there. Like, you have messy animation, featuring like with a messy little girl in the forest, literally raised by wolves. So. Yeah, that could be that's a good contrast there. That's a good that's a pretty good idea here. And I will say, it does, like, so far this is just a teaser, but it does seem like it is promising us a whole lot, that there could be, a lot more to this, because like, this is just a minute, like literally just a minute long trailer, and so far what they are showing us is very fascinating and very well animated as well. But then again, this is coming from this is coming from Cartoon Saloon, and their animation is beautiful. Like, you've seen, like, just wondering, Cody, you've seen some of the Cartoon Saloon stuff?
I believe I've seen trailers of this stuff over the years, and I've always been meaning to look into it. I think now I will.
Yeah, they're very good. Oh my god, especially they're. Well, actually, like, their movies so far, they're legendary. I highly recommend checking them out. Like, Breadwinner, and especially in this case, like, to give you a good idea of how this is going to be, I recommend checking out The Secret of Kells. I love that movie. It pretty much has that same Celtic feeling, that Celtic storytelling feeling, and especially even the art style. It's very similar. Like what you see here in terms of the art style, this is what they do best. Like, they often have that same symmetrical, a bit abstract style. Like, that's what they know how to do best. So there is that.
Yeah, I'm skimming through this trailer again because it is gorgeous to look at. But thinking about it now, I can't help but think of Brave in a way when I see this trailer. You're dealing with animals in the woods. You know, you got a redhead, and it deals with magic that, you know, in some way incorporates animals in a way. It's like, it can't help but think of Brave for a second.
I mean, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there. And I mean, like, probably the same, like, probably it's mainly because of the storytelling style and kind of the environment that they're in. Like, they are very, I mean, like, we are talking about, like, some, like, a Celtic legend, and then, like, when you have something like Brave, that's more like a Scottish legend. And they're literally not far off apart, so, of course, like, you would find some form of similarities. So I don't necessarily blame you there, and I mean, like, who knows, maybe this is just, like, consider it, like, if you think about Merida as a character, who knows, maybe this is just, like, a prequel to Brave, or maybe this is a sequel, this is, like, her daughter.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Screw the kingdom, I'm gonna be raised by bloody wolves. Me mother's already a bear, so why not?
Oh,
Yeah, but honestly, I am pretty hyped up for this. This does look like a pretty fascinating trailer.
Indeed. Although I'm just wondering, have any of their stuff? Where have their other movies been released under? I mean, this is coming out for Apple TV. Looking into their other stuff,
Their other films have been indie films. Like, they have been independent features, and they've mostly been released through G Kids. So that's the thing. Like, a lot of them, like, it's either you have to be lucky to catch, like, either a limited release. I think that's what happened with The Breadwinner, or in my case, you would have to be lucky to go and catch them in a festival. Like, I remember, I think it was like the day or the night before the Oscars or something like that. I was lucky to actually find Song of the Sea during an Irish film festival, and they just so happened to have Song of the Sea.
Well, first of all, you got me when they said they were independent. I was like, yes, independence! Do not be bought up by the mouse just yet. Claim independence, freedom.
Well, I mean, it is a full-on Irish animation studio, so of course, like,
there you go.
So yeah, they got to remain full-on indie there. But then again, it's like, yeah, they're free from the chains of the mouse. But then again, I mean, like, they got into they did end up into the chains of, like, the streaming services. I know one of the Cartoon Saloon directors is currently working at Netflix, and I mean, this movie is technically going to be released on Apple TV.
Yeah, and their next feature after this one, My Father's Dragon, that's set to release on Netflix.
That's the Netflix one I'm talking about. That's the that's the one.
Well, I'm okay if they drop stuff, if they partner up with streaming services. I mean, that still shows, you know, like, they're just playing our stuff. You know, we are still in somewhat control here.
Yeah, that's true. You got a good point there. I mean, like, Netflix does have a good relationship with indie films, so there is that. Now, the one catch, though, with Wolfwalkers is that we don't officially have a release date for it yet, but I am excited for this when it does come out.
Let's see. Hang on, I got one right here for on Wikipedia. Release date September 12th, 2020. TIFF in Canada.
Wait, what?
It's right here on the Wikipedia page.
September 12th, where?
It's let's see. Toronto International Film Festival. That's when it's going to be. That's when it's going to be its big debut.
Dude, that's today.
And you're here?
I'm not in Toronto. That's like 7 hours away.
So anyone watching in the Toronto area, go see this movie now!
I completely forgot that the Toronto Film Festival was a thing. I completely forgot about that. Okay, or the virtual Toronto Festival. Oh wait, it's virtual. Oh wait a minute. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. I still got a podcast to do.
Yeah, we'll sort out the bodies later.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go into the chat wall right now, and let's go into. Some people are saying, what the fridge? Don't forget Toei Animation being bought by Disney. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that's actually happening right now?
I do not know. Again, something we'll to look into.
Yeah, anyways, but we're not here to talk about that. Let's stop getting sidetracked. Let's talk about Wolfwalkers. All right, Chatwall, I want to know, what do you think about the Wolfwalkers trailer? Is it something you would be interested? Would you want to go and check it out? Or is it something that's not necessarily your cup of tea? Let me know what you think.
Well, I just found out Sean Bean's gonna be in it, so how is he gonna die?
I don't know. We'll find it. It's a movie about wolves. You do the math. Let's see. As for someone who loves Cartoon Saloon's animated films, all I can say is, oh yeah, all aboard the hype train. I am still upset that this movie is not going to get a home media release on Blu-ray and DVD from G-Kids, but I hope that Wolfwalkers will reach its peak on Apple TV, because if it does, Cartoon Saloon might get more recognition on a streaming service than what they did back with their movies, than when they were just released in selected theaters with little to no marketing. Well, I think with what we have just talked about with Netflix and now Apple TV, I think that could change. I think they can get a little bit more recognition.
Or even a DVD or Blu-ray release, because even Netflix really have special deals with stores. Like Stranger Things gets a Blu-ray release.
Yeah, that, or often they would get Criterion releases like Roma, and then in November they're going to release The Irishman.
There you go.
So yeah, it's not. So yeah, that's the thing. It's not impossible, and especially the fact that this is Apple TV Plus. So you never know if the deal is going to be more different. Let's see. Since I love The Breadwinner and I do wish to see other Cartoon Saloon films, Wolfwalkers is no exception. But I am a little confused on one thing. Why has this film come to Apple TV while My Father's Dragon comes to Netflix? Why not pick one streaming services for both films? It's about as confusing as DreamWorks Dragon's first 2 seasons being on Cartoon Network instead of Nickelodeon, like Penguins of Madagascar, Legends of Awesomeness, and Monsters vs. Aliens TV series. I guess it's like one deal with another. It's like, you know, it's more of a first come first serve thing. I mean, that's the thing we were talking about. They're an independent feature. They're not. They're an independent studio. They're not owned by necessarily one company. I mean, these the thing is with Apple TV or Netflix, they're more like distributors. You know, they're not necessarily chained to just one entity.
Exactly.
Let's see. Just watching this trailer makes me feel like I am seeing a living storybook. It's just so beautiful while still being easy to look at, and it looks like it's going to be inspired by Irish mythology, which makes sense since wolves are rather prominent in it. I just hope that it will get more money than Cartoon Saloon's other movies. Well, I mean, like, it's on a streaming service, so it's kind of like a different story there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, that looks interesting. I've never seen any Cartoon Saloon's filmography, but all of their films so far gathered an Oscar nomination, so they must be doing something right. Plus the mysterious tone and great animation. I'm not sure how it'll be, how I'll be able to check it out since I don't have Apple TV Plus, but I'll see if I can in some way. I'm not sure how it'll turn out. It's going to be better than what Quibi's churning out. Oh, that's for sure. Yeah, boy, is there any? Man, I don't even know if I want to touch anything that's on Quibi, even with the celebrities they get. Let's see now. I didn't know Brave had a sequel or prequel, but it looks interesting. The animation reminds me a lot of Secret of Kells and maybe Lord of the Rings, but with wolves, and the design of the wolves reminds me of the staff Laba uses in Apex Legends. And this could be something out of the Harry Potter series and Brave, and this could be a good hand-drawn animated fairy tale movie, and I do have Apple TV+. Alright, so you could definitely go and check it out then. You can tell us how it is.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. I'll go one more comment before we jump into the next story. The Breadwinner is Cartoon Saloon's best film they had ever done. I am looking forward to this movie. All I need to do... and since I am an Apple person, I'll need to sign up for it just for this movie. Quick to the Apple Store. I'll get a new iPad and also a year free of Apple TV Plus.
Well, if I may offer a solution to those that don't have Apple Plus TV, if you find another way of finding a way, maybe through your PC, wait for it to drop, then go for the free trial for a while. Watch it that way.
Oh, dude, I wonder, does Apple TV offer free trials?
That's what I do. Whenever I see a new streaming services that has something I like, I was like, wait for something to drop that I like, try the free trial, and see how it goes.
Yeah, but can you do like multiple times or?
No. Sometimes the free trial will reset once a year, but sometimes it's a one-shot deal. So that's why I wait for something that I really want to see to drop somewhere if I'm going to try a new streaming service.
You know, honestly, there isn't really much that I care like for Apple TV personally. There really isn't much that I would care about. Like the most that would pique my interest is maybe the Central Park animated series, but other than that, it does. Like honestly, I might try that out. I would be interested to do the free trial thing for Wolfwalkers.
I did the same thing for HBO Max when Infinity Train Season 3 dropped on there. I was like, I like this show. I want to watch it. Wait for this whole series to drop. Free trial. I'm happy now.
Oh, all right. I'll definitely consider that. I'll definitely try that out. All right, so with the next story that I have here, unfortunately, it will be a bit of sad news because, unfortunately, a show seems to be canceled. Like, and this is one that seems to be out of nowhere. You've told me, Cody, that you've seen a bit of the Venture Brothers, right?
Yes, I have. I've seen a couple of episodes through the years.
Okay, so you have seen some, so at least it'll make it interesting when we do talk about its unfortunate cancellation. Yes, it has been revealed that out of nowhere, the Venture Brothers has been canceled after 17 years on Adult Swim. This was apparently confirmed by one of the creators, or the creator of the show, Christopher McCullidge, in which he has stated on Twitter under his pseudonym Jackson Public, as he states, "Unfortunately, it's true. Venture Brothers has been canceled. We got the highly disappointing news a few months ago while we were writing what would have been Season 8. We thank you, our amazing fans, for 17 years of your kind and patient attention, and as always, we love you." We even also got a bit of a eulogy from one of the cast members, from James Urbaniak, as he would state, so as it must to all, cancellation has come for the Venture Brothers. The pilot aired 17 years ago, which means the show was almost old enough to vote. It was one of the great gifts of my life and career. The fans were quite simply the best. Thank you, everybody. Go Team Venture. But there is something a little bit unusual, though. Because if there is one, there is also one additional comment that apparently someone is still enthusiastic to still have the Venture Brothers still keep on going, and that is, oddly enough, Adult Swim, in which when the news broke out that Venture Brothers got canceled, Adult Swim put out a statement by saying, "We also want more Venture Brothers and have been working with Jackson Public and co-writer Doc Hammer to find another way to continue the Venture Brothers story." And at this point, rumors are currently speculating that there is a possibility that the Venture Brothers might move to HBO Max. Now, rather it be for one final season or just to create more episodes onto there to keep the show going, that we don't know. But that's currently the situation, is that the Venture Brothers is canceled, and yet Adult Swim still is interested in making more episodes. Cody, what do you think of this? It's a little strange.
Again, I'm jumping back to Infinity Train here. Have you seen that cartoon?
Not yet, though, but I am highly interested. I've heard a lot of great things about it.
It is good. The first 2 seasons I watched on Cartoon Network were awesome. Then all of a sudden I hear it's moving to HBO Max. I can't help but think that this... I know Cartoon Network had like a deal with HBO at some point for something, so I can't help but think this is probably part of the deal. Venture Brothers gets moved from Adult Swim to HBO Max to help make it look better.
So you actually do think that it is going to be moving to HBO Max for sure?
Yeah, well, Adult Swim actually wanted to keep going, so did all the writers and actors. I'm thinking, why the heck would you cancel it off Adult Swim unless you're moving it somewhere? Yeah. I mean, people still love it, still has a strong fan base, so...
Yeah, that I gotta say is the one thing that is just weird about this, is the fact that there still seems to be a lot of interest, and especially when the cancellation seems to be so abrupt. It was like completely out of nowhere that it was canceled, that they were kind of like in the middle of writing the next season, and then suddenly they got the message that, whoop, it's suddenly canceled. But like it does make me wonder that maybe it's not necessarily Adult Swim that, well, of course, no, it's not Adult Swim that canceled it, because they just put out a statement saying that they want to have more episodes of Venture Brothers. So maybe it is coming from like one of the higher ups, because like honestly, I even question like if it really is the case that, oh, they're just canceling it to move it to HBO Max, because they would have probably said something in the first place. Like, why say that your show is canceled when, like why say that it's canceled if they would, like, if eventually it would be moved to HBO Max? Why not just say immediately, oh, we're going to move your show to HBO Max? Like, keep working on what you're doing now, and we're just going to put it on HBO Max instead of television on Adult Swim.
Backlash. Because if they just say, hey, we're moving house, people are going to get angry. Like, what? We got to pay money in order to see our favorite show now? That's not right. So that's probably why someone on high says, you know what? Say we're canceling it, and then we'll bring it back, like classic Coca-Cola. We'll bring it back to the public.
Oh, you know, that might be interesting. That might not be a bad idea, actually. I could see where you're going with it, because I was thinking like, with what they're doing right now, it sounds like, okay, they're already getting backlash as it is, but I forgot about the factor that, like, just being straightforward and say, like, we're moving it to HBO Max, that people might get upset because, like, oh, now you gotta pay for it. But you know, honestly, I could definitely see the strategy. Yeah, I could definitely see the strategy in there, where you would have a bit of that psychological process in there, or try to make people think that this would be the animation equivalent of something like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where you would already have this fan favorite, beloved show, and then suddenly it got canceled. It got the cancellation got a significant amount of backlash, and then you would have someone else come and pick it up, where it would resume and people are happy again. So it's kind of like, okay, so I could see where, like, it's to like, I could see it in a way where they would want to make people think that they would go and save Venture Brothers, in a sense, like try to fabricate that kind of campaign. Like, in that regard, that would make a lot of sense. I know it sounds crazy, and I know it sounds stupidly elaborate, but not impossible. I could see where the marketing strategy could work on that.
Exactly. See, we're clever people. We like our shows. We know what to look out for.
Yeah, I can understand. I can understand that, actually. So, maybe the show creators are still like, they're in on the whole thing, and maybe they're still writing it, or maybe we're completely wrong, and maybe it is just canceled altogether, because, like, right now the Venture Brothers is just getting low ratings, and the reruns are not as strong as they used to be. Like, that still could be a possibility. But I understand, like, I get what you're trying to say with the whole idea that, like, they want to try to make themselves look good and save themselves from, like, any major backlash by just going straight forward and saying, like, oh, we're just moving it to HBO Max.
It'll be interesting to see what the next move is. I mean, if it is, for one thing, canceled for good, then what are the writers and, you know, what are the creators? What's going to be their next project?
Yeah, that is, I don't know. They have, like, they must be doing other projects, because the thing is with Venture Brothers is that they do, like, a very slow like, their process is extremely slow. They actually only put up like, the thing is, it's been running for 17 years, and yet they only have 7 seasons so far. Like, they only put out one season once every, like, 2 to 3 years or something. Even, like, with season 7, for example, that only finished off back in 2018. So the thing is, they must be doing something in between. They can't just go at a snail's pace just working on Venture Brothers. They got to be doing some other works at the same time.
Okay. Okay. Hang on.
Have you found something?
Yeah, I tried looking up the ratings for the show, and there has been a steady decline over the years. Very, wow.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've heard so far. That's what I've heard. What could be the main reason why it got canceled is because the ratings have shot significantly down. Like, that could be a reason.
Yeah, well, ratings aren't everything. It could make a comeback. You never know.
It could.
But now the question is, what's Adult Swim going to put in its place? Reruns of another show? Or do they have something new coming up?
Nah, they got some new stuff coming up. Like, often, like, they'll think about different ideas. Like, I should know. I've been, like, recently I've done some interviews with some of the show creators. They'll find some crazy ideas and even bring back some old ones even. Like, recently they brought back, like, 12-ounce mouse at one point. They'll bring back their old stuff. They got some other old stuff as well. Like, recently I learned that Squidbillies is still on the air for some reason.
Squidbillies is still going? Yeah, Virtual Brothers is gone? What? No.
Yeah, that's apparently the world we live in now. But no, I know that when it comes to Adult Swim, like, they still got plenty of things going on. And especially, I mean, they got Rick and Morty. Like, that alone, it puts them, like, they're secure. It makes them secure. Like, they're perfectly fine with just having Rick and Morty alone.
Yeah, they're financially secure for a while.
Oh, yeah. And also someone brought up also Robot Chicken. That's still happening, of course. I think Robot Chicken is like the Doctor Who of comedy. You have infinite possibilities with that show. Oh yeah, it's still going. It's still going on, and apparently behind the scenes, like, they got a new generation of, like, writers and stuff like that to provide, like, nostalgic stuff. So they could still keep going on for a long time. Yeah, but it is unfortunate to see it go for now. But it's gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna plan to do, what they are going to plan to do with Venture Brothers. Either if they are going to bring it back to HBO Max or not, and if they do. That would be actually a good question. If they do bring it back to HBO Max, do you think it's just resuming the series, or do you think they would go and bring it back for, like, one last season?
It depends on how big the gap is. I mean, if it's a long gap, then odds are they'll probably just say, let's hit the refresh button. But if they could do it if they have plans, it all depends on what they had planned for the 8th season. Because if they had planned to, like, end it right then and there, then that might work. I'm not seeing that working on HBO Max. People buy HBO Max for the one season of Venture Brothers to see how it ends. I'm still going, no. If they're going to continue on HBO Max, they have to continue the series for a good couple of seasons.
Okay, yeah, I get what you mean. So, like, it's most likely to just continue. Like, what would be the right thing is continue the series to continue the series.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they already got the materials for, like, a season 8. So, like, why scrap it there? All right. So with that said, let's go and jump onto the chat wall. And I would like to ask you all, how do you feel about the cancellation of Venture Brothers? Do you think it is officially canceled and we're no longer going to see any adventures with the Venture Brothers again? Do you think it will be coming back on HBO Max? Let me know what you all think.
Oh, I like this one already. Or do what Rocko's Modern Life did, make a movie and close out the show.
That is true. Oh, well, they did that with several, actually. I mean, they did that with, I believe they also did it with Invader Zim. They did it with Hey Arnold. Like, they did it with several of, several shows.
If they do something like that, I can see that working. I can see that working for HBO Max.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah, that would definitely work out well, and especially for something like Venture Brothers that had been going on for like almost 2 decades at this point. I could definitely see how it can actually work out well by doing a like a big grand finale with a Venture Brothers movie. Like that would actually make sense.
But how long would it take him for him to do it all?
Oh
Is
god.
the question.
Yeah, that's true. Like to make a movie, it would take. Oh god, Richard. Yeah, it would make The Thief and the Cobbler look like a quick process. Oh, let's see now. Do we have a good one? Oh, I'm very saddened to see the Venture Brothers go, since it's one of my favorite Adult Swim shows, especially when it was just when they were finally answering certain plot lines. Also, even aside from the continuation, why the hell is it not on HBO Max yet? Oh, that is a good question, actually. Almost forgot about that. It's not on, yeah, apparently it ain't on HBO Max, so I don't know.
That does kind of put a little bit into the theory of them moving it to HBO Max if they haven't even got the rest of the series on there yet. Because you think if they were moving it, you think kind of like what Netflix did with Cobra Kai. Netflix is producing the 3rd season, but beforehand they got the first 2 seasons on there so people can watch it and catch up. If HBO Max doesn't have the first 7 seasons of Adventure Brothers on there yet, I don't know if they'll move it on with it yet.
But then again, if they do make an announcement of more new, we got more new Venture Brothers exclusively on HBO Max, then that would be the moment they would also throw in all the old episodes. So they could do that as well. I mean, with Infinity Train, for example, isn't season 1 and 2 also in there?
Yes. Yes, it is. It's also in there as well.
Yeah, so they probably if they would move it to HBO Max, then they would go and take everything and just throw it in there. Let's see, what else do we have here? I honestly don't really have anything to say about the Venture Brothers, since my only real exposure to it was Poker Nights 2, where Brock was one of the characters. Oh my god, that is true, actually. Though the idea that the show is canceled because of the low ratings and perhaps even moving it to HBO Max does make some sense. So there is that chance. Let's see, what else do we have here? Do we have any comments from people who have seen it? Because I will admit, a lot of the people are just saying that they don't really... It's like, oh, I haven't seen it. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, don't forget that Mark Hamill is trying to get Adult Swim to do an hour and 30-minute movie for Adult Swim to end the show, but he has not heard back from Adult Swim yet. Oh, okay. So at least... So the idea is there. The idea of a Venture Brothers movie to make a grand finale of the series is it's not just us who thought of that. So there is that. Let's see. Honestly, I've never seen or even heard of the Venture Brothers, so I don't have the foggiest clue of how to feel about this. But here's hoping the team moves on to new projects. I have nothing else to say, well, except Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Don't ask, but trust me, it'll make sense later. It's our last story. It has to do with Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
How do they know?
They know. Trust me. Trust me. The chat. My audience is they're very keen. They can tell. they know what can happen next. Let's see. I'll just go and I'll read one more comment actually. Let's see which one. Oh, I've never watched Venture Brothers, but it feels weird. It reminds me of what happened with Tuca and Birdie when Netflix canceled the show but got revived by Adult Swim. But at least one of the Venture Brothers is in Poker Nights 2, along with Ash Williams from Evil Dead, Sam and Max, GLaDOS from Portal, Heavy from Team Fortress 2, and Claptrap from The Borderlands. And Squidbillies could be next in line because of the recent controversy with Stuart Baker. Well, I mean, they're still going on with the show. They're just saying that they're just going to replace the actor and that's it. So, I mean, I think, Squidbillies is going to be fine, but Venture Brothers, that's going to be something ultimately, even though we've passed on our theories, we will have to wait and see with what happens.
Exactly. But here's hoping for bright futures for all that worked on the show, whether it be Venture Brothers or moving on to something else.
Exactly. So with that said, it is now time we are going to jump onto the grand finale. And why not go and cap this off on a bit of a positive note? And we are going to be looking at an old name we haven't heard in a while. Someone that many animation fans have been begging to see the comeback of this individual. And while we don't have necessarily a major project announced yet, there is something that is a promise that maybe we'll see something out of it, or hopefully something big or something significant. And what I'm talking about is gonna be Don Bluth. Yes, it has officially been announced this week that Don Bluth has opened a brand new animation studio called Don Bluth Studios, in which he has collaborated with Laval Lee from traditionalanimation.com in order to create some new content. In fact, I will read from my source here on /film as it states, Don Bluth is teaming up with Laval Lee from traditionalanimation.com to create brand new content from the newly formed Don Bluth Studio LLC. This new company is going to establish new characters, new ideas, and new cartoons. These fully animated ideas will be pitched to television networks and online streaming services. We believe the public is craving another renaissance of hand-drawn animation. Our goal is to make the dream become a reality. Our company will be very transparent, showcasing and updating the public with concept art, pencil tests, model sheets, animatics, and much, much more. We are excited to show everyone and what we have been working on. Please join us in our new adventure. And so far, they have been staying true to their promise, because so far, they have been making some social media live streams, like on YouTube and on Facebook and stuff like that, showcasing some drawings that they've been working on for a project called Bluth Fables, which apparently, this is not going to be like a new TV show or a new movie or anything like that. The way they described it is that this is going to be a video storybook that will feature multiple short stories similar to nursery rhymes and Aesop fables, in which those ones are actually going to be written by Don Bluth himself, and Don is even going to be narrating them on top of that. But for now, so far they're just working on the drawings. We don't know how things are fully going to be with them, if they are actually going to be fully animated or just like a series of images with Don Bluth narrating over them. Like, we know that's just going to be one of the projects that they have so far. So, Cody, how do you feel about this news about Don Bluth Studios?
I just have, before I go in, can I just ask one question?
Yeah?
Is that the logo they're going for? Because that just looks wrong.
This bunny thing? I don't know. It might be.
That just looks wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like that. That it does make me wonder. It's like, what is behind? What's behind the clapboard? Like, what's this bunny doing?
Yeah, eyes are rolling in his back of his head, and it's laying in a puddle of... no, moving
on. Oh, God, I haven't even noticed the puddle behind it. Oh, God, no. I haven't even noticed the whole Nickelodeon splat.
Oh, are they that excited for another hand-drawn renaissance?
Oh, God.
Wow.
No. It's like in South Park. It's like the rabbit will just notice that people are watching. It's like, I saw a ghost. This is his ectoplasm. Just go full on South Park with the explanation on it. No. I swear, it's nothing really. I saw a ghost.
Saw Rule 34, Princess Daphne.
well, I mean, bruh.
Yeah, fair enough.
Bruh, she's my babe right here. So I mean,
fair enough. But as to what you're saying, I am excited for this. I mean, if they're going back to classic hand-drawn pencils, ink, and paint, I am all for this. I cannot wait to see what they do, because I will, if I can find a way to back this, I would do this 100%, no doubt.
Yeah, honestly, I am curious to know what they are trying to do. I mean, like, they have just announced that they are working on this. And apparently, like when it comes to the other individual, Laval Lee of traditionalanimation.com, so far they have been collaborating with Don Bluth for a while. Like, not only is Lee already the vice president of the company, but apparently they have already been working. They have already worked with Don Bluth, especially with the crowdfunding campaign for the Dragon's Lair movie. So they've already gotten experience working on animation with Don Bluth, especially. So at least this is a promise of what they are going to do. And just out of curiosity, also, what seems to be very intriguing is the additional comment of trying to be very transparent with their work. Like, how do you feel about that?
That's...
Also, by the way, just like a quick comment, Cody, can you help refocus your camera? By the way, like you are super blurry.
Hang on. Let me just try. Turn off.
Don't worry.
Turn back on.
Oh, much better. Holy crap! Now
turn it off and turn it on.
Yeah, much better. Okay, there you go. So, anyways, going back to the question.
That's I think they're trying to say from that comment. I think they're trying to say is that they're going to be trying to be as open as they can. You know, answer all the questions they have, because this is actually a big event. Don Bluth making a comeback in animation, and they're probably going to say, "Okay, we're going to try and answer as many questions as we can, tell you everything that we can, just so no one's left in the dark."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is okay. Yeah, that is true. I mean, like that is kind of the promise. But for me, like if I could be very honest, I feel like if Don Bluth Studios really does make it, like if they do have a deal with like Netflix or with a studio that they're going to work on a big project, whether it be like a new animated series or a new animated short or maybe even a new animated feature, I'm going to be honest, I feel like that whole transparency thing might not necessarily last long. Like they'll do as much as they can, but then again, you got to keep in mind they would still have to go and sign contracts and stuff like that. You know, they still have to go and like, they still got to go and like keep things hush hush for now. And I mean, technically, you got to keep in mind with Don Bluth and Gary Goldman, they're not necessarily all that great when it comes to updating many of the works of like what's going to be happening. I mean, like they did a great job during the whole Dragon's Lair movie campaign. Like they did well with that, but following afterwards, we didn't necessarily hear much from it. Like after that, it was mostly just promoting Don Bluth's master class on animation, and that's it. So it depends. So honestly, for me, I feel like the whole transparency promotion, like we would have to go and take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. Like, yeah, maybe they'll go and do that like near the end of the productions of whatever they're working on. And I mean, they'll definitely do it for now, but if they ever make it big, don't expect the transparency thing to happen for long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for now, though, I will say this is actually pretty exciting news. And if it is true that, like, we do have the promise of more Don Bluth content, you know, I'm definitely all for it. I'm definitely excited for it. And especially right now, like, with the one thing we know is going to be coming soon is going to be the Don Bluth, the Bluth Fables. And what I would like to see is if this would actually be full, like, I don't know if it's either just drawings or if it's fully animated. And if it is fully animated, I would be so down, because I would love to see some of that classic Don Bluth style hand-drawn animation again. That would be that would be nice to see, to have a bit of a comeback, because, like, let's be honest, Don Bluth is one of the very few master animators that we have on this earth. And whenever he would animate something, like, he would animate something so beautifully.
Gorgeously. Unless there was CGI mixed into it, in which case it's a bit...
Yeah, I know. I know. I have seen Tainei. I get how you feel. Like often there's a lot of dimensions into Don Bluth's animation, but when you add a third dimension, well, that'll just look like a piece of cardboard paper walking around in a 3D world.
Exactly. So I had a picture in my head of what Bluth's Fables would be like, and I'm picturing something like Jim Henson's Storyteller, where he's just sitting around and he opens up the book from Rockadoodle where it just has all his fables
Yeah.
on illustrations on it.
Yeah, actually, you're not far off. I have seen some of the like on Facebook. I would often stumble upon many of those live streams that they would do, and in terms of the style that they would make, it's not going to be as serious as some of the works that he would have. Like, it won't be as serious as something like the Secret of Nim or even Anastasia. They're gonna go like for now. They're gonna start things off with the cutesy style cartoony animation like he has done for some like Rockadoodle is probably the best example, or even something like A Troll in Central Park or The Pebble and the Penguin. Like honestly, like the best example that we have like for now is actually this questionable rabbit. Like it's gonna be a little bit of this style, like maybe not doing the same thing as possibly what this rabbit is doing, but like you could tell like in terms of the style, like they'll start things off with the cute cartoon animals. Like they're gonna take it one step at a time.
Yeah, so but let's just hope, unlike the childlike, I like those later films which were aimed mostly for children, that the story will have, again, like Jim Henson's storyteller, have levels for everyone to enjoy, not just kids, but the whole family.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do also have to keep in mind, I guess, with the Blue Fables, they are going to be a placeholder because we are, like, keep in mind, we are still talking about animation, and animation still takes a long time. And if we are ever going to see a major project coming from Don Bluth Studios, we might not see it for, like, another, like, 2 or 3 years, and that's like at the earliest. So we're still gonna need a lot more time before we would see any legitimate full-blown classic hand-drawn animation coming from like Don Bluth and his studio.
It'll be worth the wait. I'm a patient person, I can wait.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good point. It will be worth the wait. So yeah, for now, like we'll just have to wait and see with what's going on with the live streams. Actually, you know what? I am curious. I'm gonna open it right now to see if they're doing anything so far, like literally right now. I am curious. Okay, well apparently, okay, so yeah, they got a bunch. Like apparently, like you got like if you want to actually go and check out these like, if you want to actually go and see these Blue Fables being drawn, or these live streams, actually with Laval Lee actually working on them, then just go to Laval Lee's YouTube channel, which is LAVALLE space LE. So that like you go on his channel, you go on their channel, and you'll find like. That's what they do. Is sometimes there will be times that they'll try to go and do some live streams actually. So yeah, like just checking out, and like that's what they're doing so far, is just doing some like just like you'll just see Laval Lee doing some coloring, just sprucing up some of the drawings. Like it's mainly just going to be working on that, and like as you could see, it's cute animals. Like one right here is a goofy looking kangaroo on top of this rabbit polishing a crown with a sleeping lion right behind him. So in case like you want to actually see some of those live streams, then go subscribe to Laval Lee's YouTube channel.
I want to know the stories behind some of these pictures. So like, what's going on here? I know, how did they get to this? What are these characters doing?
And we'll finally answer the question of like, what is this rabbit doing behind the clapboard?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yes, that rabbit is gonna haunt your nightmares. I can definitely tell. All right. But with that said, I would like to go into the chat wall right now, and I want to ask you all, how do you feel about Don Bluth's new comeback with Don Bluth Studios? Are you guys excited to see what projects could come out? Are you guys already anticipating for the Blue Fables? Let me know what you all think on this. All right, so as a big fan of 2D hand-drawn animation, I find this as a possible breath of fresh air since Disney stopped hand-drawn after 2011's Winnie the Pooh. But after finding out that not only is Don Bluth returning with an all-new animation studio, but this is also reviving hand-drawn animation full-time. My mind wasted no time shouting, "Shut up and take my money." Well, I mean, that is the goal. That doesn't necessarily that's not necessarily a promise that it would be the comeback of hand-drawn. They'll just keep the art form alive, but that doesn't mean they're going to bring it back to mainstream. I could be wrong, but I mean, like, it's only a promise. Let's see now. Great. Great. Now we can get Netflix to cancel their version of Dragon's Lair and see if the new studio and try to revive their original animation project. No, dang it. Anyways, I'm still glad at his 80s, Don is still going strong with his animations, just like Hayao Miyazaki with his upcoming film, How Do You Live? Maybe not so much with the dates or even his Kickstarter, but I still admire his ambition. Yeah, that is true. At least he's still doing something.
Here's one. So all this sounds super exciting. I'm also pretty nervous long term. I've watched Animation Look Back, Don Bluth, and followed the Dragon's Lair Kickstarter since 2015. We know for a fact that he's had history of money troubles. It's not entirely his fault, but he's had 3 different animation studios fail in the mainstream animation. 2D is very rare nowadays in theaters unless it's hell. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised at if a combination of both is why the Dragon's Lair movie is LA.
Is live action.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And I mean, like, Don Bluth is getting some additional outside help, which is actually good. I mean, it's not just like Don Bluth and Gary Goldman. Like they are adding in also Laval Lee onto this, and maybe he can provide some additional help onto this. But other than that, I'm just going to say that we'll see how things will go with it. But you do bring up a good concerning point that Don Bluth does have a history of like maintaining studios, and that sometimes it doesn't always work out well in his favor. Let's see. What other comments we got? I love Don Bluth, and I'm very happy that he is doing some animation, but I kind of disagree on what he said about Inside Out. But I still respect. So I cannot wait for his new stuff that he is making for kids. I don't know. I haven't seen his comment on Inside Out. Have you?
No.
Oh well. Anyways, it's great to see Bluth return to the field of animation, and to be honest, I'm a little surprised it took him this long to create a studio. The logo with the rabbit is kind of, well, let's just say I hope he isn't jacking to a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh, so that's where the Cinnamon Toast Crunch comes in.
The payoff!
There we go. But overall, I'm pretty psyched to see what Bluth has in store. But back to the whole South Park joke. Maybe the rabbit is, quote-unquote, taking a load off in San Diego. Who knows? Alright, I'll go and read one more comment. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, why not? It looks like the 2D animation master has finally came back for whatever came to decide to bring him back. I'm so excited to see more of his incredible work. Speaking of the rabbit, look at his face. That's the face of someone who just got freaking satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah, that rabbit is definitely... Well, either way, the rabbit is definitely as happy as the Don Bluth fans out there. And with that said, that should conclude today's episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. So, Cody, thank you so much for joining me on this. It was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and I'm contractually obligated to say this, not because there's a sniper off site. But don't forget to tune in tonight for the Drive-In Mutants live stream, where we'll be riffing as an end to the summer and start of school, The Sandlot.
Okay, Morgan, you can put down the gun now. All right, thanks. All right. So yeah, is that your only plug you have, by the way? If there are other ways that people can go and find you on the internet, would there be another way?
I am currently trying to update my video log on YouTube, which is no easy feat, as we all know. Copyright. But just look up. You can follow me on my YouTube channel. I am going to the name The Movie Venturer. Go there, check out my stuff, and see what a person who has a full-time job can do in his part-time life.
Alright, that sounds good. So with all that said, I would like to say thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. And tune in for more crazy stories that are going to be coming up in this podcast. So with all that said, see you later, dudes.
Bye, everybody.